not only how to handle procrastination, but a step beyond that, how to create absolute consistent action towards the goals that you've now set. So let's start with talking about the power of rituals and what success conditioning really is. Let's just reinforce this idea within ourselves. I believe that most of us in life are controlled by one thing, our own personal rituals. What do I mean by that? I mean that throughout our life, we've gotten caught up in some specific habits, and that those habits now are literally controlling and directing our lives, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. There's a quote you've probably heard. It says, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a set of habits, reap a character. Sow a character, and you reap your destiny. What I want us to do today is to really take a good look at what are some of the consistent thought patterns that we have right now that are creating habits and therefore character and destiny. And if we don't like some of these habits, rather than just being at the effect of them anymore, once we identify what they are, what are some simple ways to condition ourselves to create new habits, habits that will automatically pull us towards the goals that we desire most? That's what we want to do. Now let me ask you a question. Do you have some rituals that you're aware of consciously that you know are holding you back a bit? For example, do you have any emotions that you experience on a regular basis that maybe are less than resourceful? Do you get angry on a regular basis? Or is your emotional pattern to get frustrated or to get depressed? The question I have for you is, when you have these emotions and you know you have them on an ongoing basis, are they affecting the quality of your life? Are they affecting your daily actions? Are they affecting, therefore, ultimately your destiny, the direction of your life and ultimate destination that you're headed for? The answer to those questions, I believe, is yes. And the question is, though, what are you doing daily to feel angry or to feel frustrated or to feel left out or to feel alone or to feel depressed? See, these things don't just happen. Depression is not the result of a virus. In order to feel bad, you got to work at it. It takes effort. And we talked about earlier that you have to take on a certain body posture. You also have to do certain things in your head. You got to look at the world in a certain way. But what I want you to realize is if you're feeling any emotion, positive or negative, on a consistent basis, it's not only affecting your life, but it's the result of a ritual. You have got ritual ways of looking at the world, ritual things that you do. If you think of a ritual, really what is it? It's like a ceremony. It's something that you do over and over again. It's almost like a code that your brain runs by. For example, if you think about it, we've got all kinds of rituals that we think of in a positive way. Things like holidays, for example, Thanksgiving or Christmas, having everybody get together. It's a ritual, and we love it, and it's part of our life. It structures our life. But what most people are not aware of are the internal rituals that create limiting emotion. So what are some of the emotions that you experience on a regular basis that create pain in your life, that create limitations? Because every single one of those emotions that you experience on a regular basis, for you to have them on a regular basis means they're habitual emotions. For you to have habitual emotions, there are certain habits that you've developed. You've developed a ritual of looking at the world, ritual ways of talking to yourself, ritual ways of moving your body that allow you and cause you to feel this way on an ongoing basis. So let's discover what your rituals are, because you may have picked those rituals up from a tribe you no longer belong to. Maybe it's time for you to create some new ones here. Maybe you're part of a stronger tribe, one you picked instead of one you just fell into or were born into. So let's take a look. Pull out your success journal if you would. Now, if it's not nearby, then at least pull out a piece of paper. And what I want you to do right now is I want you to write down at least 5 emotions that you experience habitually, meaning on an ongoing basis, maybe once or twice or 3 times a week average, something that happens more than once. But you can count on it. In other words, next week, you'll probably feel that at least once or twice during the week. And it's a negative emotion. In other words, emotion that denigrates your experience or makes you feel unhappy or frustrated. Or let's take some examples. What are 5 negative emotions you experience on a regular basis? And I'll give you some samples. How about words like emotions like frustration, anger, resentment? Or you could take more internal ones like feeling overwhelmed or sad or depressed. What are some of the negative emotions? Disappointment. What are some of those that maybe you feel on a fairly strong, ongoing basis? Jot them down right now. Don't turn me off. I'm still watching you. Make sure you're writing this down. If you're just sitting there thinking, well, I guess that's okay, but ideally write them down. Come up with at least 5. 5 limiting emotions. Depression, frustration, anger, overwhelm, sadness. What other ones are there out there? despair, being discouraged. Now, as soon as you get these 5 down, jot them down quickly.